Chicagoans got a glimpse of what goes on behind closed doors at City Hall during the first hearing to examine the 2020 census results. And a hint, the debate got heated. WTTW News reporter Heather Sharon joins us now with what went down. So Heather, what was the purpose of today's meeting?
Well, this was the hearing to give the aldermen the first official glimpse of the data that they will use to craft new ward maps for the next decade for each of the 50 wards in Chicago. And this was sort of an unveiling at the data that they've been looking at for 2 months in the City Hall map room, which of course members of the public and the news media aren't allowed to see.
As we both know full well, Heather. So Ninth Ward Alderman Anthony Beale had some heated comments today about the drop in black Chicago population as a result of the census. So let's take a look at what he said.
I'm just really disturbed by the amount of numbers that they're saying the African-American community has dropped. I just think that the manpower was not put in the African-American community to go door to door.
So, Heather, why is this so concerning to Alderman Beale?
Well, the census found that Chicago is nearly split in thirds between Black Chicagoans, white Chicagoans, and Latino Chicagoans, with a growing Asian population. But the Latino population grew about 5% in the last decade, while the Black population dropped about 10%. Now, that is concentrated on Chicago's south and west sides, which means those wards have lost populations, and those aldermen are at risk of being redistricted and potentially having to face a whole new electorate in 2023. Alderman Beale is one of those South Side aldermen looking at that data and realizing that this could really shift the balance of power in Chicago for really the next decade.
All right, so Heather, what is next in the formulation of these new ward maps?
Well, it's going to be a very busy fall at City Hall. Not only does the City Council have to approve the 2022 budget by the end of the year, they also face a December 1st deadline to figure out these maps. And if 10 aldermen vote for an alternative map, that could trigger a referendum where both maps would go before the voters. And that it would be uncharted territory. So we'll have to see what happens.
That's right, Heather, because there is an outside group led by groups like Change Illinois that have floated quote-unquote fair maps, non-gerrymandered ward maps that they want the city to consider. All right, so we're going to keep following this. And Heather, we'll see you again in just a few minutes for Spotlight Politics.
Thanks, Paris.
And you can read Heather's full story on our website, WTTW.com/news.